Hello, my wonderful power plants, and I welcome you to the cold, chilly month of December. Guess what that means? It's almost Christmas! And that also means, since it's the first week of the month, and this marks the fourth countdown I've done, I'm making it a top 10. And as the title gives away, this is my top 10 least favorite Pokemon. Now, it's not in my nature to hate something. Hence why the title of this video is Top 10 Least Favorite and not Top 10 Hated. But I am fully capable of being annoyed. And that's what the subject of this list is going to mostly be about. Pokemon that have somehow annoyed me. So let's get going with number 10. Number 10 on this list is Rayquaza. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Rayquaza is amazing. He's got a great color scheme. He has a pivotal role in the Delta episode in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. He's got cool typing, and he's based off a Chinese mythological dragon. What's not to like there? Well, I'll tell you. This harkens back to my younger days when I had first gotten my hands on Pokemon Sapphire. Now, I went out there, found the Sky Pillar all on my own, no guide, and I came across Rayquaza. And, like any foolish child, I tried chucking Pokeballs at him until he got caught, which took me a good 3 weeks. But that's not the reason why he's on this list. No, the true reason he's on this list is because I always preferred to call him Rayquaza. And all the kids at school made fun of me for calling it Rayquaza when they were like, oh, it's clearly Rayquaza. And I'm like, no, it's Rayquaza, and I'm sticking to it. And then the anime came around, and they said Rayquaza. And my poor little heart was broken. And that's why Rayquaza is on this list. Because I was betrayed in the top 10 anime betrayals. But that's enough about Rayquaza. Let's move on to number 9, Quagsire. Now, Quagsire's on this list for two main reasons. One, because I just want to punch him in his stupid, derpy face. And I know it won't do anything because he runs into boats, according to the Pokedex, and he doesn't feel anything. But I'd still like to, just punch him. The second reason is, I'm not a competitive battler in any sense of the word. But every once in a while, I'll feel the urge to hop on the Wi-Fi and pick a few battles up. And as soon as I run into a Quagsire, I'm like, why did I want to battle competitively again? Because of the unaware ability. The unaware ability ignores all stat changes. And I love doing the stat change strats. I love me my double team cheese and my bulk up and all that good stuff. But with Quagsire, it's like, nope. And I get dumpstered every time. Well, not every time. Never mind. That's getting off topic. Anyway, that's number 9, Quagsire. Now we move on to number 8. This spot is a tie between Volbeat and Illumise, mostly because I consider them to be more or less the same Pokemon. Now, the reason they're on this list is because, again, back when I first got Sapphire, I thought, well, first off, I didn't know about the differences in catchable Pokemon between Ruby and Sapphire. So I spent a good, 10 or more hours just hunting for an Illumise in my Sapphire, when all you could get were Volbeats. Secondly, for whatever reason, I had it in my head that Volbeat could evolve. So I spent a lot longer than I should have leveling up that Volbeat, trying to get it to evolve. And that trauma has stuck with me ever since. Now we head to number 7. Number 7 is Bouffalant. Bouffalant. However you say it. English is a weird language, ladies and gentlemen. Don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise. Now, Bouffalant, the cow that looks like a Tauros with an afro. The reason he's on this list is simple. I thought he was Taurus's evolution. When they first announced it, I was like, oh my gosh, a great Gen 1 Pokemon is getting an evolution? Sign me up! Only to come to the heartbreaking realization that no, in fact, Tauros was not getting an evolution, and Bouffalant was just an afro with a bull attached. I was much disappointed that day. But other than that, like I said, there's no other reason for him to be on this list. I'm just still salty about that. Next on our list, Malamar. Now, Malamar, if he was just what he is, he probably wouldn't be on this list. But, as with every other entry on this list, there is a story chronicling my stupidity as to why he's on this list. That is, I didn't realize you had to hold your DS upside down when leveling up Inkay to evolve it into Malamar. So, I ran through my entire Y game with an Inkay because I never realized you had to hold the thing upside down. And I didn't realize it until I went on to Cerebi and discovered the evolution method. Yeah, I felt very stupid that day. Very, very stupid. Now, we move on to number 5, Primarina. Now, Primarina is on this list almost exclusively because the males and the females look exactly the same and they're both girly as all get out. And so I feel incredibly sorry for any male Primarinas. That's the whole 9 yards of the reasoning for Primarina being on this list. I mean, Primarina is the weakest of the Alolan starters, in my opinion. But otherwise, there's no reason for her to be on this list. They. See, now I'm doing it. I'm assigning genders based on appearances. Oh no! The social justice police are knocking at my door. I better move on to number 4. The Unknown, collectively. Now, I was a wee little whippersnapper when I watched Spell of the Unknown, the movie, and I was awestruck by how powerful the Unknown were. So, when I got into the 4th generation and discovered, hey, you can catch all the Unknown? Sign me up. So I went out, caught an Unknown. It only knew Hidden Power. I was like, that's odd. Let me go catch another one. That one only knew Hidden Power. I leveled it up a bit, never learned any other moves. So I'm like, there must be some sort of secret I'm not getting. So, I spent the next, how long was it? 2 weeks in Solaceon Town, the ruins outside Solaceon Town, searching for every single Unknown, A to Z, with the question mark and the exclamation mark. And once I had caught them all, I went to the box in the PC, looked at them, nothing had happened. I lined them up, A to Z, exclamation mark, question mark in the boxes. Nothing happened. It was then, to my dawning horror, that I realized Unknown is the most worthless Pokemon ever. Don't believe the hype of the movies, ladies and gentlemen. In-game, Unknown are worthless. So yeah, I was heartbroken, which seems to be a running theme of this list. Anyway, let's move on to number 3. Number 3 is Xerneas. And the reason Xerneas is on this list is solely because of my younger brother. Now, I mentioned before when I was talking about Quagsire that I am not a competitive battler. My younger brother, on the other hand, is. And I'm not talking about the ones with the ROM hacks and all that. I mean, he does the breeding, he does the EV training, he goes all 9 yards. And every once in a while, he'll annoy me enough to get me to agree to a Pokemon battle with him. Now, ever since X and Y, him and that gosh darn mental herb geomancy Xerneas have just been kicking my tail 6 ways to Sunday. And I am very bitter, and I hold grudge. So Xerneas is on this list because I've yet to muster the willpower to actually build a team to actually stand up to Xerneas. But there you go. Number 2, Arceus. Or Arceus. However you want to say it. This is another one of the ones where I'm still not sure how you're supposed to say it. Some people say it Arceus, some say it Arceus. But that's completely besides the point. The reason Arceus is on this list is because of the movie, partly. Now, Arceus in the Jewel of Life, in my opinion, makes Arceus look like a jerk. A big, fat, stupid jerk. Sorry for your virgin ears. And for someone who's reportedly the god of the Pokemon world, I just don't like him being a jerk. Also, no, you don't want to hear about that. But I'm going to tell you anyway. In my fanfiction, Arceus is sort of a bad guy. Like, a complete egomaniac. But that's besides the point. I just don't like Arceus. But anyway, now we get to number 1. Now, the other entries on this list can more or less be taken in any order. But number 1's on the number 1 spot for a reason. This number 1, Emboar. The great plague upon the Pokemon world. The most heinous, disgusting piece of filth ever devised by Game Freak. And I say this because he's the 3rd firefighting type starter Pokemon. So, as you saw in my first list, Blaziken is my favorite Pokemon. Top, number 1, bar none. So obviously I have an issue with the pretenders to the throne, Infernape and Emboar. Now, Infernape, I don't have too much of an issue with. Sure, he aspires to greatness but fails, but he's based off his son Wukong, and I can respect that. Emboar, he's just a fat pig, and I hate him. He is evil. He sullied the good name of the firefighting type. Yes, I'm rambling, and I'm aware of it. Does that mean I'm gonna stop? Eventually. Maybe. But anyway. I just hate Emboar because he's the 3rd firefighting type. He's a fat pig. And he wants to be Blaziken in the worst possible way, but he isn't because he sucks. That's about as good a reason as you're going to get out of me. But anyway, that's my top 10 least favorite Pokemon. Rayquaza, Quagsire, Volbeat/Illumise, Bouffalant, Malamar, Primarina, Unknown, Xerneas, Arceus, and Emboar. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. And remember to like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend. And in the comments section below, tell me which Pokemon you have a particular burning distaste for. And until next time, if you would kindly, get off my lawn, you filthy casuals.